Okay, hey guys. So, am I in the camera? I am. Okay, so I've been saying I'm going to film this video for quite a while, and it's really hard because I keep thinking about the things that I wish I knew 10 years ago, and there's so many things that I wish I did know 10 years ago, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a ton of things. Maybe there'll be like a sequel to this video, but I'm going to tag all of you guys, no matter how old you are, to do this video as well. So what you wish you knew 10 years ago, what you wish you didn't know, whatever it is. So I'll tag you guys to video response to this video and to tag all your friends to do the video as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. This is in no particular order or anything. So, and like I said, I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of things. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing that I wrote down is don't hold things too tight. Don't hold things too tight to you. And what I mean by that is, like, it could be just like people or material objects or anything, but anything that's like meant to be yours. Like I think I especially mean like about people, like you know, you see like relationships where the guy holds on to the girl too tight or the girl holds on to the guy too tight and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, if something is meant to be yours in the long haul or whatever, it won't want to leave you, you know what I mean? But when you, like, you know, constantly stalk or at somebody or see somebody on the phone, or you're texting them constantly, it's like that kind of thing like actually pushes people away. So if it's meant to be, it will be, you know. So I wish I had known that then. I wish, like, sometimes, like, you know, just letting things sort of fall the way that they're supposed to. I wish I had been more like that when I was younger. Not saying that I like stalked my boyfriends or whatever, because I really have only been in a few serious relationships. I haven't really dated a whole bunch of people, but I wish I had known that what relationships were supposed to be like you shouldn't hold on to things so tightly. So that's my first thing. Okay, my second thing that I wrote down was don't let other people's image of you stunt who you are. So what I mean by that is sometimes, like, other people will get it into their head what you are supposed to be like, and then you sort of take that in and you feel like you're supposed to be a certain way. So maybe you shouldn't dress like, you know, say you're more of a preppy girl, and then you shouldn't dress like in Converse or this or that. You know, don't be what other people expect you to be. Be what you want to be, you know. And I think I've done that. I did that for a long time. Like, I sort of, you know, fell into this category of what I thought I was supposed to be like, you know, and just in the last few years, I've really started to just sort of be how I want to be. Like, if I don't want to put on makeup, or I, you know, cut my hair off or did this or that, then I chose to just be like how I wanted to be. And if somebody didn't like it, well, that was their problem, not my problem, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my problem what other people feel about me, it's their problem. And that's such an important thing to remember, right? All right, the next one I wrote was stand up for what's right, even if it makes you look like a loser to all your friends. And I feel like that's like really important, you know, like sometimes, you know, if, you know, your friends are doing something and you kind of are like, no, that's not really like cool or whatever, and everybody's like, come on, do it, whatever, blah, blah. And I sort of would go with that when I was younger. I would just be like, okay, well, everybody else is doing it, I'll do it too. And I mean, it's sort of thing like, if everybody jumped off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge too? And it's like, I know that's such an obvious thing, but it's like, it's about being a follower, not a leader. And I think when you're younger, it's easier just to blend in with the crowd than just kind of stand alone. And it's really important to just find your own place, even if you're different than everybody else, because you'll find friends that are maybe not what you think you're looking for, but are more like you. Like, so many of my friends are either friends that I've had since I was really, really young, or friends that I've made now that are really completely not even like me at all. Like, maybe they don't like makeup, maybe they're you know, not into hair or fashion or anything, but like we relate on totally different things, you know. And that's really important to find people that are not really in the same interests as you. I know this is kind of like I'm talking, it's like, what the hell is she talking about? She's going off on tangents about different kinds of things, but I hope you guys are gonna like understand what I'm trying to say. Like, it's when I say like stand up for what's right, and even if it makes you a loser with your friends, it's like you'll find people that are interested in the same things as you get older, and as you accept yourself for the way that you're actually supposed to be. I think that's what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. All right. This is a really important one. Different people will come into your lives for different reasons. There's like a saying, it goes, people will come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And it's really hard. I'm a Pisces, so I take things like really, really hard, and I'm super sensitive. And sometimes it'll feel like people will come into your life, and I'm not just talking about guys, I mean like girlfriends, and it'll seem like you guys are like the bestest friends in the whole entire world, and then something will happen and you just won't be friends anymore. And it doesn't have to be like a big falling out. It could just be like you don't work together anymore, and you moved somewhere different, so you guys don't live close, and you just, you know, you don't have time for each other anymore. And it's like it's almost like a breakup with a guy, or it could be a breakup with a guy, and it's sort of devastating. But you need to remember, and this has come to me like as I've gotten like a little bit older, that it's like really true. People do come into your life for like a reason, and I feel like it's supposed to be a lesson, and you need to just sort of figure out what that lesson was. And I mean, like I've had like a couple girls in my life, like I can think of like one where, I'm not kidding you, it was like the most devastating thing, like not being friends with her anymore. It was like the worst breakup I've ever had, and it still makes me like sad to even think that we're not friends and stuff like that, because she was like a kindred spirit to me, and it like breaks my heart. So but you have to just try and find like the good from it, and just remember that it's true. People come for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. This video is ridiculous. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, this one's important, and like I could go back and read you guys diaries from when I'm like in, you know, grade 7, and the spelling police would be just completely on my ass because it's just so bad. But anyways, write a diary. And the reason I say write a diary is because A, it's awesome to look back at and just like see where your mind was and like what was going on and blah, blah, blah. But the other thing too is like, I feel like sometimes when you look back at your diary, and I'm just gonna give the example of like a relationship, because I think a lot of people who've been writing to me about doing this video are like asking about like romantic advice and blah, blah, blah. And I think sometimes like you break up with a guy that you've been with for a long time or whatever, and then you're like, you know, he was the most amazing guy ever. I don't know why we broke up and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you go back into your diary and look day by day of what happened in that relationship, you're like talking about how he was out drinking with his friends and how he never called or never answered the phone or whatever your situation was or whatever it may have been, or how he treated you or how you felt at that time. I think we romanticize the relationships, or we try and like build things up after it's happened. Either way, it could be good or it could be bad, right? But that's what we do. And when you have it like actually written down how it happened, it's really good just to go back and be able to be like, hey, actually, you know what, it was like this is how it played out, and you can really move on from it, which is super, super important. All right, so that's that. All right, next. Believe in your intuition. This is like really, really important. Whether it's like about a job or a relationship. I was talking to my sister about this earlier on the phone today. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. All right, so like if you're in a relationship right now, like a long-term relationship, or you're at a job that you just are feeling like, you know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling where you're like, I'm not sure. I'm like, you're engaged. You're with some guy that you've been with for a long time, but there's something inside of you, and there's something inside of you that feels like there's something more out there for me. There's something else there. You have to follow your intuition, because listen, like this is it, you guys. Like you don't get a second chance at this. This is your life right now. And if you're even younger than me, or even if you're older than me, like, you know what, like this is it, you know what I mean? You don't get another opportunity to do this. So if you're like planning on getting married and you don't think the guy's the one, don't get married and then get divorced. Like look at Kim Kardashian right now. Like this is ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like, or anybody, like it's just, don't do it, you know? Like it's easier just to give the ring back and move on than it is to just to go through with it and to feel like this feeling that you feel inside of you, or, you know, go to counseling or try and work on it or do something. But don't just like sit there feeling, you know, uncomfortable or uneasy or there's something wrong. Like you have to do something about it. All right. Definitely comment about like whatever you guys think, or if you disagree with me, video response, whatever. Okay. The next one is, your heart can be broken more than once and in different ways. So the first time that my heart was ever broken was from my like, actually I'd had a couple like longer term, like I'm a relationship girl. So, but the first time my heart had ever been broken, I had been in a relationship for about 4 years. And I mean, just devastated, like absolutely devastated. And I never thought that like my heart would ever be broken again. But I mean, my heart has been broken before that. My heart's been broken with people passing away, and my heart's been broken by like other people and like other things. But like, it's a different kind of break, and it's like a different kind of love. Like you know, our friendships can break your heart, and you know, there's so many different ways that your heart can be broken. So I don't think I really realized that when I was younger, that you know, there isn't just like one person for you. There's more than one person out there, and it's kind of impossible that there's only one person for you. Like, how is it possible that, like, you know, most people live in one place for most of their lives, and like, how is it that their soulmate just happens to live in that same area as them? It just, I don't know, seems a bit odd to me, but whatever. My thoughts. All right. The other thing I wrote was, I'll never stop trying to lose that last 10 pounds. I didn't know that when I was 20, but it's getting harder. Oh, okay, that high heels really do mess with your back. I wish I knew that 10 years ago, because you guys know I had that back surgery. The next one is sunscreen, you guys. Sunscreen. I wish I had not gone into tanning beds, not gone in the sun at all. I know it looks so much better on your skin, like you feel like you look so much better, whatever, but just use, like I even have one right here. Like if you're not gonna go get like an airbrush tan or whatever, blah, blah, I think this one works really good, the Nivea Touch of Sun. I don't even know why it's in this bathroom, but it is. All right, not everything is black or white. There is a gray area. You know, if you have like two girlfriends or two friends that are girls, and they're fighting, it's best not to get into the middle of it or choose sides. And if your girlfriends are actually your good friends, they're not going to put you in the middle of it. You know what I mean? So anybody that's asking you to choose sides isn't really a good friend of yours. Okay, that you can't change people. This goes back to what my sister said about the duck, right? It's like, you can't change anybody. You're not gonna be able to change a guy into like what you want him to be. You know, when you start a relationship, usually everybody's on their best behavior. But that's another thing. When you start a relationship with somebody, don't be a different girl. You know, like, and we are all, you know, guilty of this, I think, or, you know, to some degree, like boys, girls, whoever. We, you know, are sort of on our best behavior, and I think this is something that you change as you get a little bit older too. I talk like I'm like 830. You know, like you are, you know, like on your best behavior, you always look great, you kind of lose some weight and stuff like that, and you always like have your makeup done perfect and you look great and stuff like that. And then as the relationship progresses, you start wearing your sweats around the house and you're kind of like a bum a bit, and you don't care about us keeping the houses clean or whatever it may be. But you know, like, if you really like are into somebody, you should just be your genuine self from the very beginning, because they fall in love. You fall in love with this like ideal person, and that's not even who they really are. So you're falling in love with like an imaginary person, and they're falling in love with an imaginary person too. So like, that's some good advice right there. It's like, try and be your most genuine self that you can be. Obviously you're gonna try like a little bit harder in the beginning of a relationship, but try and be authentic. Like, don't turn yourself into like Wonder Woman when you really, you're like, I don't know, the Cobb's bread lady, I don't know. All right. Okay, the best revenge is being happy. This is so true, like honestly, because everybody knows, like, okay, like for a perfect example here, I have a girlfriend, not gonna name names, but she just found out that her ex-boyfriend, who she calls the one that got away, is engaged, and his fiance is pregnant, and she doesn't really even want to be with him anymore. Like, really, she doesn't. She calls him the one that got away, but like, really, she just says that now. She calls him that now that he's got a girlfriend or a fiance that's pregnant, right? But she's like devastated. Like, she's devastated that he's happy. You know what I mean? Like, and she doesn't even know for a fact that she's happy. She like stalkerazzi'd his Facebook page, which, you know, like so many people do these days, which is the worst thing about like social media or whatever, social sites and stuff. But anyways, she found out about it, whatever, blah, blah, and, you know, and that's the thing, like, now she's, like, all just like, oh my god, like, whatever, blah, blah. This guy's moving on with her life, she was moving on with her life, she finds out this about this guy, and now she's just, like, you know, devastated by it. And that's the thing, if you move on with your life and, like, just kind of move forward and get happy and be happy and just go on with things, other people hate that. Like, it's horrible. You're just like, and I kind of think everybody's sort of been in that situation where it's like the other person's moved on. Like, for example, when that 4-year relationship ended of mine, he started dating somebody like really shortly thereafter, and it was a girl that I knew, and I'm not kidding you, it felt like somebody had like, it was the worst feeling I've like ever felt, like relationship wise. It was just like, it was just so horrible. Like, it was such a horrible, horrible feeling. And anybody who's ever been through something like that knows exactly what I'm talking about. It was just devastating, right? So anyways, just moving on and being happy and deleting Facebook or like whatever it is probably the best situation. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. How long is this video? All right, I'm under 20 minutes. Okay, this one's important to me anyways, because I made a huge mistake one time when I bought this, it doesn't matter what kind of car it was, but anyways, it was a very expensive vehicle. And I bought it brand new, and it's really dumb to buy a brand new vehicle. You should buy a vehicle that's not brand new. Like, even if it's just like 6 months old or a year old, do not buy a brand new vehicle off the lot, because the car depreciates by like $10,000 as soon as you drive the thing like off of it. So that is some advice. It's a big waste of money, and I wish I had known that when I was younger. All right, the last one that I have written down for you guys is that and I know the reason that I'm telling you guys this one is because when I was in my early 20s, I used to get, well, actually, it was even when I was younger. It started happening shortly after my brother Jason passed away. And I used to get, but I have to say, it progressed really, really badly into my early 20s. Like, it was intense. I used to get really, really bad anxiety and panic attacks. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, it felt like my heart was beating so fast. I couldn't get like a deep breath, and it was just horrible. Like, I mean, and I know that so many people suffer from this and not a lot of people talk about it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Okay, so I used to get this, like, I mean, it was just debilitating, and people who don't have it wouldn't understand, but people that do have it know that you actually have like the physical symptoms of it. Like, your chest tightens, you really feel like you're not getting enough oxygen, and you feel like you're gonna pass out, or you feel just like, you can't breathe, you need to escape, but there's nowhere to escape to, and it's just really horrible. So the last thing that I wanna say is that the anxiety is not going to kill you. You do feel those feelings that you're feeling, but it's not, it's really not going to kill you. Like, this is what I would tell my 20-year-old self, to just calm down and take a deep breath and like exercise and try and get that excess energy. Listen, I'm like, exercise and try and get that excess energy out in a different way. And that, usually the anxiety and panic that anybody's feeling when they have that is caused by something else that's going on in your life. If you're having some sort of, like anxiety or panic or really bad headaches or just like anything like that, and they can't figure out, like, there's some sort of physical symptom going on with your body and your doctors can't find out what's wrong with you, it's generally from something emotional that's going on in your life, and you might not even realize that you have something emotional that's happening to you or something that's happened to you in the past, but you need to figure out what it is and you need to change it. And that's what I would tell my younger self, is that you need to like get past whatever it is that's messed you up, and you need to like move on from it or find a way that you can control it. Because now I don't have anxiety or panic attacks anymore or anything like that, and it was a really debilitating time, and it was really scary. Like, I had problems flying, and just like social situations would give me great anxiety and stuff like that. And now I'm such a social person and everything. So that was the last one that I have for that. All right, so I'm sure I have like a billion more things that I wish I could tell my younger self and that I wish I could tell you guys, but I couldn't really think of anything at the time. So anyways, I tag all of you guys to do this. I tag you to tag your favorite gurus, and for you guys, like, even if you don't make videos, just maybe write your responses or send me your responses privately on YouTube or to my juicytuesday@yahoo.ca email address. And yeah, all right, well, I love you guys, and I really hope this helped somebody out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Start the car.